how can you harness these many eyes? I mean, you have to evaluate what there is some crap around, there is really good stuff around. How do you, as I was asking, how do you find the pearl in there? How do
Well, it's not necessarily the case that it's a pearl. It might be the opposite. It's finding the turd in the box of cereal. That might be more important. It's not necessarily looking for the good. It's trying to find the bad, right? So we'll have to see. I mean, there's a lot of small cases. There have been many instances where public records are put online, and then individuals start to connect the dots and find out, as a result of the fact of public documents being made available, that the company that was being paid to fill the potholes and did such a bad job was owned by the second cousin of the mayor, who's got questionable ethics, and this stuff comes to light because individuals look it up, not necessarily traditional journalists, for example. So in some cases it may be finding the problems is more important than finding the perfect solutions to things. And the second wave is providing a vehicle where people can actually, at low cost again, combine their efforts together to actually exert influence, right? Historically, certain organizations, for example, unions or nonprofits, could exert influence on, for example, government or public policy. But to do that, they had to have a lot of money. They had to build a war chest. So a large nonprofit would have to get money from philanthropists, or spend a tremendous time and effort raising money from the average person. Or a union would have to take money from people's paychecks every week. Their fees to the union, their union membership fees, and then because of that, they could exert influence. But now, because exerting influence, if you have lots of people involved, you don't necessarily need money. What you need is the people and their involvement. And so if you can rally people and have them all show up, for example, well, look at the Republicans are doing this all the time. They're doing an amazingly good job with all these tea parties all over the place. It's a sign of how this can be used for whatever, good or evil, if you will, depending on how you fall on the political spectrum. But they have all these people coming to these so-called tea parties and saying that healthcare is fascism or whatever crazy stuff, and they get a lot of press. They're putting a lot of pressure on moderate Democrats in America, and it's really been a real problem for the healthcare reform activities. It's an example of the Republicans and Fox News using the internet and public media very effectively to get, at a very low cost, a really big bang. It could be used in a similar way by people of other persuasions as well, and has been in the past, obviously. So those kinds of things all of a sudden are relatively low cost. In other words, if you have a good message and you have a mindset about how to rally people around activism, it doesn't cost as much. So you don't have to get everybody that cares about the ecology in America to give you $50. You just need everybody who cares about the ecology to send email to their senators, for example.